September. What?
What?
How are we here? How'd we get here? I hope that you guys, did anybody do open houses this weekend? Or did we all have our, like, we're gonna be working? How was it? Nobody. Every open house I went to, like, that I was just showing houses, said they were packed all day. What was your price point and area?
Day rate for
Oh, weird.
Eight.
Did you have open? Did you have people? Yeah.
4 hours and
And
20 people through and we're under contract.
Yeah, I got 2 offers this weekend too.
Wow, I advertised the hell out of it.
Crazy. Anybody else?
I got blanked as well on 3.
You got blanked? No showings.
We had 0 as well. 0.
Except we have a lot more.
Price point.
You guys did that for me. 3.
I'm just curious. This
345
has
and
nothing to do with
475.
today's presentation. I'm just curious.
No, townhouse. 2 townhouses. Where? One in Provo, one in Syracuse.
Well, but nobody wants to live in Provo.
Right. Especially in a rentable townhouse, that's no interest there.
Jesus.
But yeah. No, it was, I figured everybody was out of town for the weekend, but
That's
apparently not.
BYU's
maybe
crowd
the
was sold
areas.
out, dude. They were
Jason,
there.
Claudia, what areas were you guys in?
Clearville High Boundary. Northern is good, but.
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Interesting. All the Salt Lake County and South, they went out of town.
So,
Yeah.
Northern state and look for houses. All right, awesome. Well, welcome to team meeting, guys. It is September, so you gotta do what you're gonna do to affect the rest of the year. And really, this is now starting to look at what you're gonna do to set 2026 up for
where's
success.
Marcos?
Where is Marcos? It is September's birthdays. Look at all those little birthday babies there. Dalton's on the list. Marcos is on the list. Justin Yoder's on the list. Who else is in the room? You know what? If you come in person, you get a little extra shout out. How do you like that?
Just so
Happy
everyone's
birthday.
aware, I celebrate all month long.
So
If you want to take me out.
if you want to take Justin to lunch, he's got the whole month. He'd even let you tiptoe into October if you need to.
We've been recovering from that bender.
She send around a list in just a minute, so if anybody's to celebrate his birthday. He's got his little QR code out on his card. It's birthday, send me a drink, Venmo me. It's like a bachelorette party, but Justin's birthday. I love it.
Hold on, will that work?
Yeah, I always do it. Actually, for bachelorettes, I think it's cute. September anniversaries for work. Happy 2 years with us, Shauna. That's exciting. We've got nobody else in the room.
Jessie.
On the anniversary. Oh, Jessie. She's not in the room. Jessie, happy anniversary. She's in the front of the room. Okay. In August, we welcomed Jessica and Diana. Welcome. If you see some newcomers around, welcome to the jungle. That's a pretty fitting. Anybody sometimes that's like by the end of a real estate day feel a little bit like you look like that? Because I totally do. And I dance around my house like that too. It's great. Bucket Bills. Please. Football starts on Thursday. Yes.
Who chose the wrong?
I did.
Oh, Vinci actually did as well. My fantasy football team is Big Nick's Energy. You're welcome.
Yeah, I
Need
saw that.
fantasy
That was
football teams,
hysterical.
go ahead and let me know. I'm feeling real lucky about this year. So whose bucket do we want to fill today?
I'll call Christie's because I had things under wraps so I could go to a wedding this weekend. And then of course things happened because I was gone at a wedding this weekend and Christy had my back and filled in for me in some funny. So I appreciate her.
I did my job.
Yeah.
It's always so nice to have a backup and if you want to be busy, have a wedding or plan a vacation. And then all of a sudden people are like crawling out of the woodwork that you haven't heard from for 8 years. And they want to list right now today. So yeah, awesome. Christy.
I'm gonna tell Ashley's bucket. She's been freaking rocking it. Like she has 5 of our buyers under wraps. Like she's
Nice job, girl.
We'll just say,
Yeah.
and she is handling it.
Nice, good job. Get that momentum going. I love it. Okay, anyone else? Bucket Bills? Claudia.
Yeah, Chris and Ken, they were just awesome. There was, anyways, some stuff going on and they great to call and make sure we're working out.
Oh, good. Good, I love it. Anybody else, any other bucket bills?
This is not a person in here, but it's to do with KW, the KW military. They just hosted a VA master class to do with VA loans, and it was
Is it good?
incredibly informative and absolutely amazing. So
love it.
I don't know, I was going to ask her if you have to be in the KW military or if it's just open to all KW agents, but once I find out the answer, I'll share the link because they're gonna do another class here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, let us know for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that especially with us being in such close proximity to Hill Air Force Base, you need to understand and know the VA loan process and how to speak to it, how to be able to help clients through it. If you guys came to our Bites and Insights last week, which by the way, if you guys missed that, I'm actually like sad in my core for you because it was so good. It was such good information. But Lindsay Bagby had talked about VA loans because she does a lot with VA and just like helping not just the buyer, but the seller on the others, like the listing agent on the other side, understand why you should consider those. So anyway, I think that's great. I love it. Good bucket bill. Thanks. That is one of the communities. There's KW communities in case you guys didn't know. Anybody else bucket bills? Last chance. What's happening in our market center today is our tech bar with Bradley. Bradley, what I'm gonna order from you is I would like a margarita on the rocks, heavy tequila, very little Mart mix and extra light for my tech bar. Is that not that kind of a bar? Oh, well, that's the kind of bar that sounds fun. Also, equally as fun is a tech bar where you can learn and come and bring all your questions. And if you have anything, bring it today, 1:30 to 2:30. Tomorrow at 9:30 is the Art of Conversations, and also on Thursday, Art of Conversations. Those are both with Tim. UAR convention is happening this week in Logan, and Allison will be there as well as himself and Sean. And then Thursday from 11 to 12 is turning your business into a value machine with Bradley. Bradley, or your website. Sorry, I just made up my own words. You want to say anything about that?
We did this a couple weeks ago, and Shauna and Julie were there. And it went really well, so we're just doing it again. It's gonna be a lot of what kind of content can you put on your website, and then it'll be a little bit of how do we execute that. And then for them, it rolled over into tech bars of implementing it into your website.
Okay.
So it should be good.
Love it. And then Friday is compliance with Ken, understanding the commitment for title insurance. Ken, what do you want to tell us about it?
I was just curious, how many of you know everything you need to know about title insurance policy and reading a PR?
I think I know.
Justin and Sean. The rest of you I expect to see at the class on Friday at 10 o'clock. Seriously, I don't think we read the commitments, nor do we understand them. And that's a big problem because everything you need to know about the transaction is included in that title commitment. So if you don't, you're doing a great disservice to you and your client. So Amicus is going to come and help me do that. So it's going to be amazing.
Awesome.
So be good.
Do not miss it. Ken, have you ever been able to get ahead of a problem because you got a PR early from your,
Absolutely.
like a listing, for example?
Especially ask for a pre-listing PR, before you actually list a property, because then it will show you ownership information, liens, judgments, all that stuff. So yeah, it's really good.
Love it. Okay, that's Friday at 10 a.m. Is that just in person or Zoom and in person? Zoom and in person. I'm just gonna give a little plug for, I feel like in person, you're gonna learn a little bit better. You're gonna stay more engaged. I would challenge anyone, even the most focused person, to really stay focused on a Zoom for more than about 5 minutes without your eye wandering to something else in your screen. We already talked about that one. This is coming on September 10th. So there is a lot. September is a packed month. Holy moly. September 10th at 10:15 at the Timbermine. It is free for members if you're a member of NWAR. Marky Lemons, I don't know how, Ryle, I don't know that. But anyway, Marky Lemons is doing a productivity boost, 13 ways to use AI and ChatGPT in real estate. If you have not heard Marky speak before, I already gave you guys a pitch for this last week, but she honestly is such a dynamic speaker. Is not just somebody who speaks to it but doesn't do it. She's actually actively running business. She is phenomenal. She's coming to the Timbermine. You do have to RSVP. It will sell out. So if you're planning to attend, make sure you RSVP sooner rather than later. And then the speaker will be first, it is CE, and then afterwards there will be lunch and networking. Got it? And then on Friday, you have 2 choices on Friday. So obviously you guys are going to Ken's class at 10. So unless you're hiring, go to Ken's class. If you're hiring, this leverage series is critical for you to be out. Just thinking through in the next 12 months, if you feel like you are going to be hiring somebody or starting a team or want to set somebody up for success, this is a series that Johnny's doing shortened versions of Career Vision. Keep Calm and Canva on. Bradley, what's the Canva release? Is that happening this week?
This is happening on the 4th. So you'll be getting an email with more information, and so will we. So it's kind of just
Surprise for everybody.
yeah, it's a surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
But they're gonna be addressing that on the 5th. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it, we'll have the link so you can watch it later.
Okay, so you'll get an email on the 4th about a Canva and KW integration or partnership or whatever it's being called. I don't think they're calling it integration.
Partnership.
A partnership with Canva, if you will. Please RSVP for that. That is on Zoom only. And then Ignite is starting not next week, but the 15th. It's going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 5 to 8. If you have not attended the entire Ignite series, or even if it's been a while since you have, I highly recommend you come to Ignite. That will be on the 15th it starts. And remember, you don't have to come to every single one, but I think there's probably a lot of people who could gain some good information from it. Sean.
With our adjustment or whatever you want to call it, our shift in our market or our constant shift, getting your old time skills polished would be helpful.
Old time skills.
Well, because
Maybe we can solve like business basics instead of old time.
you gotta keep back to your market. We're always trying to grab the shortcuts, and there's really no shortcuts to 2-6 as a 10 speed. So come to these classes. They'll be helpful.
If you're not at the level you want to be in your business, come to this class. Who's going to family reunion? Oh, Marcus, high five. I guess it's just us. Okay, here's a couple things I'm gonna say. You have until I think the end of, I think it's like October 15th to get discount pricing. It is currently $8.99. That is the cheapest it will be.
That should be enough of a sales pitch, just that you and I are going.
I don't even know why when I said I was gonna be here and then you said yes too, that the rest of the hands didn't go up.
Right.
It's weird. But it's gonna be in Atlanta. Here's what I will say is if you're thinking about going, even if you don't buy your ticket yet, you may want to just like take a little peek-poo and go into like Expedia or something and reserve a hotel room. Because they are gonna go up in price. If you register, you get access to the discount room block. And those were actually significantly cheaper because sometimes they're just like a little cheaper and it's not that big of a deal. They're actually significantly cheaper. But also just these will fill up, especially affordability wise. So go book your hotel. There's a lot of free cancellation options. On Friday, the 26th, it is a continuation of our AI training series through KW Utah. This one is Lead Gen in the Age of AI, a smarter way to fill your pipeline. Does anybody wish they had a fuller pipeline? Oh, okay, just like 4 of us in there. Okay, cool. Those of you plug your ears, don't even register, don't even think about coming. You don't get any new leads, and you certainly don't get it through AI. If you can work smarter, not harder, why are we not? Right? Come learn how to work smarter, not harder with leads. Trunk or treat client event, make sure you sign up for this. Vinci, I did have a question on this sign up by Friday. I'm assuming after that is when we'll get like smart plans and marketing and all that.
Right now, I should have some already.
Okay, perfect.
So I just extended it a little bit. Let's want to get everybody to sign up this week. So come to me if you have any questions. It's gonna be really fun.
Okay, if you want to sign up for this, scan the QR code. If you have more questions, see Vinci after the meeting. It is going to be here in the parking lot. It is going to be a trunk or treat, but I think of it as like a jacked up, they took some pre-workout and they're just like going so hard trunk or treat. So there's going to be food. All of your giveaway from your trunk is going to actually be included. You can decorate. We'll probably do a prize or something for the best decorated. I don't know. Dress up, have fun, call it a day. Wants and needs. Julie, you were the first one up there to write yours. Tell us about your listings.
So I have one in Bergamo City. It's beautiful. It looks like it's totally been staged, but that's how they live. Nice. Custom home, 23-33 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Super cute. Should go fast, but hardly. I mean, we haven't had tons of activity, so I don't know. And then the second one, That's the one that, it's a townhome in Daybreak and he needs help because like I'm at opposite ends right now. So just kind of heads up if there's somebody that would be willing, maybe show if I'm somewhere else, that'd be awesome.
Okay, awesome. In your Brigham City one, have they gotten all their county recorder's office mess figured out yet?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
good.
there was a breach.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a breach. that,
Yeah, so like for 30 days, they couldn't do anything with
Yeah, so my title got it for me.
it. Good, okay. Mine is a townhouse coming up in North Ogden. It should be, I think flooring should be done by mid-September, so within the next 2 weeks. But if you have someone that's interested, it is gonna be priced to move. It's gonna probably be like 260 to 270. Most of the listings in there have been about 280 to 290. It will have new flooring, but the rest of it could use the spruce up. But they are owner occupied only. So if you have someone who is looking for something affordable and also doesn't want to live in a townhouse community that has a lot of renters, and constant kind of turnover, I know that is a big turnoff to people who really want it to be owner occupied. This is a solid owner occupied situation. So call me if you are curious about it. I can definitely get sneak peeks on that one. Sean.
My first one is in Roy. It's a 4-bed, 3-bath. It's 2175 square feet. It is gonna be on the market in about 3 weeks. So I want, both these that I have, I want to see if people want to do open houses. I'm gonna price them below market so they'll sell quickly. So it's a good opportunity to get a buyer quick. The second one's in South Ogden. I don't believe that square footage to be correct. So I'm gonna do a Cuba Casa where it measures it. I think they forgot the lowest level. But it's a 5-bed, 3-bath. And it is in a cute neighborhood. I can't remember the name of it, but it's in South Ogden. It kind of backs Harrison, but you know, that gully area where the whole backyard is all treed. It's kind of like scrub oak and stuff like that, but it's super cute. And that one's gonna be ready for the market in about 2 weeks. First one's gonna be just over 400. Second one is going to be just over 5.
Awesome. Was there any wants and needs online, Bradley, in the chat? Okay, anybody else? Last chance? Okay. Tim, wanna come up and chat with me for a minute? So guys, we have an announcement to make. So Tim is gonna be transitioning out of our team leader role. As many of you know, Tim lives about an hour and 15 minutes
Well, with the new construction.
with the new construction. But Tim's family needs him and they need him closer than where he is now. And what did you say?
You are my fan.
We are, but there's ones that are actually physically and monetarily and emotionally dependent on Tim. And so just, we've come to a mutual agreement that it's not the right time for Tim to be in the position here. And as we support the God family then business, we want to support Tim as he transitions out of the role. So Tim, is there anything that you want to say?
Just how much I love you guys, like with all my heart. I really do. It's been magical to come around and be with you guys and connect with you and get to know each of you. And this has been a hard decision that's been looming for a couple months now with my girls, especially that are at that age. And they're with me most of the time now. And so it's hard to make both work, and it's time for me to do. And I love you and I'll miss you. And I'm not dying, so like I'm gonna be around. I can still help out in the process. What's that?
Where'd you go?
Just haven't made a decision with that yet. Just right now, just dad's kind of focused on the mind. So I've been blessed to be able to withstand some things, and those 2 years in LA were tough, and that was made pretty prevalent with my girls. And so yeah, just dad right now. It's not a really high paying job,
No.
but you know,
Does it pay in reward? Oh, also no.
totally, it totally pays it. Yeah, sleepless nights, all that good stuff. But I love you, and I'll always be willing to chat, talk anytime. And if you have any questions, please just come and talk to me one-on-one, and I'm happy to go into that. And this was a really hard decision to make, and I'm just grateful for Marcus and Russie, who's like my sister. And yeah, you guys are for sure my family, and I love that, and I really will miss you guys deeply, but still gonna be around.
So one of the things that I don't know how many of you know or don't know, but Tim, as he just mentioned, worked in California for several years, which took him away from his family. And actually, I got into a conversation with Tim years ago for a position potentially in our St. George office. And at that time, the opportunity was great, but the timing did not line up. And when there was a need here in this office, I reconnected with Tim. And Tim, I just want to thank a ton for coming in at a time that was a little bit of a challenge in our office. And him just coming in with a super positive attitude. And I think you guys have all heard glorious, probably more times than you ever thought you would hear in one solid year. And just the positivity and energy that Tim walks in with every single day is awesome. And one of the things with him being far away was that it wasn't always going to be the plan. There was going to be a transition into this area at some point. And when we really sat down and had a lot of conversations over the last several weeks, that just, we had to look at that again and say, even if the opportunity feels right, if it's not the right time for what's going on in your life, we've got to stand by the God, family, then business, which is a part of our core beliefs. So we're going to miss you, Tim. And it's going to be okay. We're going to be good here in the office, and we're going to shift and look at a couple things. Marcus, do you have anything that you want to say or add to the conversation?
No, just we love you, Tim. We appreciate you. And it's been a really positive season in our office with your leadership and partnership. Thank you.
Love you guys. I do.
So with that being said, you know that we got to party with Tim and send him off. Send him off in style. So on September 11th, which is really fitting because it is Patriots Day, and I don't know a bigger patriot than that guy. But that is going to be at 3:30. Please RSVP so we know how many people to plan on. We'll have some food and drinks and just be here to celebrate and send Tim off in style, bon voyage, and celebrate. Either way, if you want a copy of this photo, you can actually turn it into a sticker too. And then you can send it out whenever you're really excited or something's glorious. So just let me know and I can send this to you personally. And you too can create that. But if you would also RSVP so that I know who to plan on, that would be really great. And help spread the word. If you know somebody that's not here today, but you know that they would want to come and help us send him off in style, let us know that. And then we'll also send out an email with some more details on this. So, okay. And there's no other.
You were in that.
1000%.
It's been requested, which was.
I might wear it the whole day. I won't even bring a change of clothes. I'm just wearing that.
Just leaving your house like that in the morning, that is a strong statement.
Yep.
You should speed and act erratic also, so that you get pulled over, is what you should do. I think that was like the
I
absolute
can
right.
finally show off my 2 pistols tattoo, so can't wait.
And no other better way to transition into making your calls into a TCPA friendly and compliant way. Because if you get sued, you just get sued. And you get paid for it. And we don't want that to happen because you work really hard for your money. And it can be gone like that if you're calling the wrong people. And with that, I'm gonna give it over to the one and only Bradley Degree.
No. Transition over to my computer. Okay, so we've been talking about AI a lot recently. And we've been hitting a lot of brief, what can you do with it? Not a whole lot of, here's what you should do. So today we're gonna do a little bit of a workshop style, how to build your own AI marketing assistant. So recently, I got my real estate license. And one of the things I've been trying to do is hit social media hard, lots of videos, just because it's an easy way to get free marketing out. And it's something that takes a lot of time. So if you've seen my videos, they're all about a minute long. And for each of those, I script them. I use an AI marketing assistant to tell me which shots to use. They create captions for me. gives me little ideas of what headers to put on. And I'm gonna show you how I made mine, so it can simplify your guys' marketing. So the marketing challenge every agent faces is you're drowning in content demands, whether it's your newsletters, social media, sending out smart plans for the Halloween trick or treat. There's just a lot to do. So how we can simplify it, make it easier for you, save you time, is going to be our goal in this. So having an AI assistant is like having a junior marketer. They're going to be always available for you. The main thing is it's going to be consistent output. So every time you put in a prompt, you know where you're going to get back. And then it's cost effective. We're going to do this through Gemini. So it's already included in your KW fees. So it's going to be free. And then what your AI assistant will be used for is social media content, email campaigns, blog and website information. So if you write blog posts, like I've talked about in my how to create a superpowered website, it'll be helpful for that. And then content strategy. So hooks, call to actions, just general content ideas that align with your business goals. So before we get into it, what will your marketing assistant do and what won't it do? So it's going to save you time. It's going to write in your voice. It'll keep your messaging consistent. It's going to be really good for creating those first drafts and editing. And it'll be able to repurpose content efficiently. So what that repurposed content is if I'm filming a video on the July market stats, I can say, thanks for helping me create this video script. Let's put this into an email now. So that way I'm not duplicating work or working twice as hard to do something that I can do once to be done with it. What it's not going to do is it's not going to replace your creativity. It's not going to make business decisions for you. It's not going to auto post content. It's not going to know your market. It's not going to replace your personal touch. So even though you're going to build out a whole bunch of really good drafts and scripts, you still want to go in there and say, you know what, is this what I really want to say? You're gonna have to go and film the content yourself. It's not gonna film it for you. You're gonna have to put in, you know, what makes it you. AI is gonna try its best to make it seem like it's yourself, but you're gonna just have to add a little bit of that person. So the secret and what's gonna make this all work is your own knowledge documents. This is what makes the AI marketing assistant actually really powerful. So Joni talked about uploading the MREA. But what makes it even better is things that are personal about you. So what are your goals? What do you want to do? What is your niche? What makes you you? Because if we just put in the MREA or any basic content, we're all going to have the same AI marketing assistant. We're all going to put out the same content. We're all going to sound like the same real estate AI bot. So today we're going to talk about a couple of options you have for knowledge documents that you should put in your AI assistant that will help you create the consistent material and content time you prompt it to do something. So a couple important ones is what's going into your brain or your AI assistant's brain is your story and niche. Who do you serve? How did you get into real estate? What makes you unique in the market? You should add a tone and voice guide. So how do you speak? What do you like to sound like? What's your communication style? What's your brand? Some content pillars. So for me, an easy way to look at this is what do? You do real estate. And then what are 5 sub niches in that you prefer to work on? So that could be first time home buyers, working with veterans. It could be, for me, it's data. I like to work with data. I like to say I'm the data driven real estate. It could be second languages, just another sub niche that you can go deeper into. And then market knowledge. You're going to put in, you know, stats that you track that you think the AI should know, testimonials, questions you get asked, neighborhood expertise. So what are your favorite restaurants? It's not something that you think you can put in, but if you put that in, when you talk about what kind of area or what kind of restaurants do I need to go to as a new Utah, your marketing assistant can just pull that for you. So here are all the knowledge-based documents I would go through and say, what do I want to add? Call to actions are important. How do you get people interacting with your page? Hooks, super important. How do you get people to stay? Read your email, watch the video. Brand voice and tone guide. How do you make it sound like you? What are your goals? This is a big one that I think a lot of people don't put in. Because are you trying to post every single day? Are you trying to grow your business or are you just trying to maintain it? Frequently asked questions, client testimonials, your local knowledge, personal stories. This just lets it so if you want to tell a personal story, instead of coming up with it yourself, you've got this data bank of all these ones you've given to your AI assistant that they can pull from and see what matches the context the best. So now we're gonna go and build it out. We're gonna go to this link down here, and it's gonna have a bunch of those pre-made documents for you to fill out. So it's gonna be, what are your goals? And you're just gonna input your goals into them. What is your niche? You'll just write your niche, and then we're gonna go over how do you add this into your AI's knowledge base.
Bradley, while you're writing that, and you may talk about this, one of the things you might get overwhelmed with the page previous of all the things that he's saying make as your knowledge base. A lot of times you look at that and think, oh, that makes sense. I want that to be part of the knowledge base, but I don't already have this organized. I don't already have this put together. The cool thing is you don't have to have it polished and done. Your marketing AI assistant's going to help you polish it. But one of the biggest tools that I use is Otter AI. And like when I'm, for example, look at the listing process one. Maybe I don't have that really documented out, but I'll just turn on Otter AI and I'll just have a conversation with Otter AI of what do I want my listing process to look like. But maybe I'll even talk through like what I say in my listing consultation that sets me apart. And all I'm doing is recording my voice. And then I just copy the transcript and then I go to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you take all my content, my thought process around this listing process and formalize it into a document that I'm going to use as part of my knowledge base in a custom AI assistant. And it will take all your ramblings and it will clean it up for you and actually make it into a document, knowing it's like, okay, I'm going to take this conversation, I'm going to clean it up in a way that you can then use it as part of the knowledge base. So like a lot of what I use is to create this is just me talking out loud of what I'm envisioning for it, instead of me thinking, well, I need to create this perfectly beautiful document to go be part of my knowledge base.
Yeah, and so I think with that is what I did for all of these is I went and said, you know, I don't know how to write out my niche specifically. So I talked to Gemini or ChatGPT and I said, I'm creating a gem or an AI assistant and I want to share my niche with you. Give me a prompt for several questions to get that out of me. Give me a format. So how can I put that niche into your knowledge base so you can read it easily? So it's not something that you shouldn't have to do all by yourself. Just continue to ask the AI you're talking to, what does this look like? How can I improve this? What is something I should change about this or add? You'll continue to get new ideas, so it just makes it easy. So has anyone had any problems pulling up the Bitly website? You should get taken to a folder with a bunch of Google Docs. And here we can just go into like content pillars. So what are 3 to 5 content pillars I want to revolve around? So in real estate for me, I like to say I'm the data-driven real estate agent. I'm going to base mine around data.
And you would want to make copies of these if you're in the drive, if you're doing this right now, FYI.
Yep, so
Bradley's is
these ones
mine
you'll
and yours.
download and upload into your own folder in Google Drive.
Does everyone know how to do that? You can just quickly show them the keystrokes there on how to duplicate it or.
So after I go to this website, this URL, I'm gonna take it into these documents. And hit download. Actually, just hit download. So download this document here, and then you can drop it into your drive. And I would make a folder called your AI marketing assistant. So that way you know where all these documents are. So I'm just gonna create a new folder. And then I can drop my content pillar right in. Is it making sense so far?
Okay, but
In his mud. Okay, so you'll notice I've got content pillar, content structure. What I would do different about the content structure is what are you doing in your content? Are you doing Instagram, emails, YouTube stories? So this is kind of what do you want your format or content to look like, short form, long form. You can add as much or little as you want. So here I would do Instagram Reels, and then maybe I add some more information onto this. All of my Reels, I want to be less than a minute. YouTube videos, I can say these are gonna be my long form, maybe 10-minute videos that are more informational. And I want to crop down the highlights of this to put into my Instagram Reels, maybe into my blog posts. You've got your preferred caption script style. Here we've got a page for your goals. So what are your goals for the year? Here this says circle or list. We'll just list it. So is your goal lead generation? Is your goal to grow your Instagram, Facebook following? Is your goal brand awareness? Is your goal just 10 transactions? If it is just 10 transactions, how do we need to break it down to say, you know, to get 10 transactions, I need to generate 1,000 website leads. Giving as much information as we can. This is what makes our AI assistant know us and serve us better. Next one's our niche. Who's our audience that we're reaching out to on our emails, our social media? Who is it that we serve or want to serve? What kind of problems do they usually face? What kind of problems are we trying to solve for them? How do you solve these problems? And these ones are actually the most important. So if you can put how you'd respond to something, what you would say in a specific scenario. If you can give client testimonials, this is going to be the most powerful because your AI assistant will know this is how they actually talk, or this is real feedback that they've got. Versus, you know, they want to sound smart. Here's what I think sounding smart sounds like. Where you say, this is how I talk. I talk intelligently, and I use these 6 big words frequently, like glorious. Please include the glorious in all of my AI marketing material. Because otherwise they won't do that. Then we've got your story. Why did you become an agent? What's your journey been like so far? What motivates you and what makes you different from other agents? And how I created all these are just little templates where you can go into your AI. So in your KW email or Gmail account, if you click on these 9 dots, we can find Gemini in this little drop-down box. And what I did is I just said, I'm creating an AI assistant. I'm a real estate agent. want to share my niche.
Bradley, they have to be in their KW account to have the Gemini be for free, right?
So you have to be in your Gemini KW account to be able to make the AI assistant. So if you're not logged into your KW account, you won't be able to do this. Or you can pay for it. I just recommend using your KW email, because it's free.
Or you can use other LLMs, right?
Yeah, or you can use other LLMs if you're already paying for it. Then I say create a guide for me to fill out. And it'll give you all the questions you likely need to answer and put into what is my niche. So your professional identity, my target niche, my standard operating procedures. Then it starts going into brand and voice tone. So you don't have to come up with anything yourself. You just need to come up with what is you, who are you in real estate? And you just need to spew it into these prompts that you were given.
And go back to my comment earlier, like, that if you don't want to type all this out, or that sounds hard to do, like, I would just have this up, I would turn on Otter AI, and I would just say, like, I'm just gonna read these out loud and say, okay, my name is this, my title is this, let's go down to my primary marketing services. So I just say, hey, my primary marketing service areas are, and then I just say them all out loud. Then I would leave this open, copy my transcript, and then below I'd say, I'm going to paste the transcript for me verbally answering all of these questions. Can you rewrite this document using all the exact same bullet points, taking my answers from this transcript and filling this out for me? So if you like to type them out and that helps you think things out, do it. For me, I like to just verbalize it so I can talk through just all my ideas and it will clean it up for me, but you can just drop it in right below this.
Okay, so do we have any questions about creating your knowledge base? Okay, so once you've created your knowledge base, we'll scroll to the top on this left bar. You'll see you've got this gems section right here, and this is where your AI marketing assistant is going to show up. So when we're ready to build it and we've created all of our knowledge base, we can click on Explore Gems. And then you'll see some pre-made ones by Google. We're going to go over to your new gem. And then you can name your gem. We're going to give it some instructions of what is its job. And then we're going to give it its knowledge base. So here I'm going to name it Ivan the Instagrammer. I'm going to come down to the knowledge base and I'm going to grab a bunch of files for it to reference. I can just grab it straight from my drive. And then this is where it makes it easy to say, this is my AI marketing folder. Mine's just pulling up my most recent. So I'm going to grab these 6.
Bradley, does Gemini limit you to the number of documents you have in your knowledge base? Do you know?
I don't know. I've added 15. So you can add a lot.
And the only reason I ask is because I know chat limits it at 20, which is restrictive. So I'm just curious if Gemini had a restriction or not.
I have not encountered one. But if you do, you can just combine documents together. Here I can see I've got all these documents in my knowledge base. If I don't like them, it's easy to delete them. And then for the instructions, I also like to go back to Gemini and ask, what should the instructions be? So here I'm pulling up a new tab of Gemini, and I'll just tell it I'm making a new gem. A new gem for marketing my real estate business. I provided knowledge documents. With my niche. Etc. can you create instructions for me for my AI assistant? That prompts it to ask me questions of what I want to create each day, ask me what hook I want to use, and call to action. So here it spits out my AI assistant instructions. Talks about the purpose of the AI assistant, the goal and what its goals are, what kind of response format. And then here it's got some example interactions. So for me, I'm just going to grab this first part. I'm going to paste that into my AI's instructions. Then after that loads, you can test it out and play with it on this side to see what the responses will be. So here it said, I'm ready to create an Instagram post. And it responds, hey, I'm Ivan the Instagrammer, here to help you create some killer content. Let's start by talking about what's the topic, what do you want the hook to be, what's the CTA, and what's your goal. So you can see he's responding to all the instructions I gave him. And then you'll also see you've got these links in here. And it's going back to your knowledge documents. So in your goal, it says, is your goal to generate leads, build brand awareness, educate your followers? It's referencing the goals I provided him in my knowledge documents. So what I did with mine is I built it out, gave it these instructions, and I played with it for 2 weeks and see what kind of responses I got, how I liked it. And then from there, after I saved him, I came back and changed some of the instructions. So I didn't like how it says, you know, what's your goal? Because I already gave him my goals in my goal sheet. So I removed that from the instructions. I didn't like it how it said, do you want to build a email campaign, a Instagram campaign? I just decided I'm going to provide that in the prompt every single time, so I don't need to be asked. So every time you come in and you go, you know what, I've got a better idea of how I want my AI assistant to react. We can click on these 3 dots, jump into edit, and we can change our instructions. Or we can jump back into our content pillars. And we can start changing the content in our pillars, our goals, to reflect what we want the AI assistant to be looking at and to be using. So for my hooks document, I added in like 15 hooks that I liked. And I said, here are 15 hooks that I enjoy and I think are powerful. Choose from these 15 hooks. But if you think one is better that isn't listed, please let me know. So I did say, here's my knowledge documents. Use these primarily, but don't use them exclusively. And it's just going back and forth into your content documents, into your instructions, and adjusting it so you get the responses that you like. Do we have any questions about creating the AI assistant here?
Do you have to name them in Icelandic alliteratives?
I prefer alliteratives. You don't have to.
Okay. Lab the viral or something like that.
Exactly.
Got it.
Then whenever you jump back in, you're gonna have Ivan the Instagrammer or your marketing assistant here. You can start typing to them, create 30 days worth of content. So here he's asking, what kind of topic do I want to write about? This is where I'd go in and change it and say, look at my content pillars, look at what I usually make. And make a 30-day strategy around that in the instructions or in my knowledge documents. So when I do something like this, it just starts spitting out 30 days worth of content versus prompting me for more information. But then if I click on Ivan again, I'll see I've got recent chats with Ivan. So he will remember when I was talking to him about these 30 days of content. And I can come back and say, make it all about market data. Then you start spitting out some hooks, calls to actions, content goal. For this particular post, what is the main objective? To convert viewers to leads. And I haven't gotten 30 days of content yet, so this is where I'd go in, change my knowledge docs, change my instructions, because I want to make it easier for myself versus having to keep going in and adding prompts for him. Does this make sense, Dalton?
So if we had a live person doing this, it'd be easy to have silos of different discussions, right? Social blogs. I suppose video can overlap with social, email campaigns, all that sort of stuff. Is that doable here? Do you need to create separate assistants for different specialties, I guess, within the marketing world? What's your thoughts there?
So I'd create one marketer.
Okay.
And you have them do emails, blogs, Instagram. And then you can go in, and if you just want to do something about Instagram, you can do your own chat and reference that whole chat.
Keep the chat siloed, so to speak.
Siloed.
Okay.
But what I like about going in and referencing these chats is you can go to that email campaign, say, I really like this part where I talked about August statistics or this event. Now I want to create it into a social media post. Where if he's just an email marketer, he won't have your knowledge base or your specific criteria in creating that social media post from that email campaign.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Good thought.
And you can come back and rename these chats.
No.
So here, if I didn't like this as real estate content briefing, I can just say this is all my email chats. And then the next time I jump into Ivan, I can choose between my email chats, my social media post chats, or my blog chats.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. I like that.
Inside of here, unlike ChatGPT, we can't group things in like folders.
Right.
So we can't say,
Or projects,
here's all
whatever.
the chats
Right.
regarding the emails in one folder inside of Ivan.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so I see a lot of you have your computers out. What's the hardest part of getting this done? Is it the creating of the knowledge documents? Okay, well, we've got some time, which is good. As this is going to be workshop style, feel free to ask questions, but let's work on building out your knowledge documents. We'll put those into your marketing assistant. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll be around to help you out. Okay, go.
What's doing it?
There's lunch out there too, so if you guys wanna grab lunch and do a little working lunch. This is one of the biggest questions that we get is like, how to do this, so if you're working through it right now. Be working through it when you've got it. Like I would use this time, you blocked it, use the time to do something. And lunch is here too, guys, for whenever you want.
You're driving.
It's a folder, but yeah, I can figure out how to.
Did you download the documents too?
I do, but already. Yeah, I do know. But. So my husband watches it because I'm all the time. Read. It's like a total night.
Okay.
That's it. Go to me, take a picture. Yeah. So this is a picture and I forget it. Yeah, everything else.
Split. Or highlight all. Yeah. Fifth or. Underneath the bill, build it down. Something like that. Right. One more.
Okay.